What it be, what it be, what it do, what it do. It's your host, Dave, with the Dave and Blue Show. Tell your mama, your cousin, and your bro to like, share, and subscribe to the Dave and Blue Show. We lit. Yeah! Alright, so we are in week two. Week two of this season is going to be elite. We are playing Oklahoma. We're the only top 25 game for the weekend, or at least for today. So we are ranked 14th, and Oklahoma is ranked 18th. This game is a big one. It's a big one for Michigan. It's a big one for Oklahoma. I gave you guys my 6 major keys for Michigan to beat Oklahoma, and if you want to check those out, they're going to be in the description up here. But yeah, so we are going to be doing the preview analysis video and my prediction for the game. So we are going away. We are going to Oklahoma. And it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be loud in there. They have a good defense. They're going to try and confuse Bryce Underwood. They're going to try and mix him up with his reads and his coverages and things like that. The defense they have is stout. They have a good offense with John Mateer and his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, who was his offensive coordinator at Washington State last year. So he has cohesion with him already. He has strategies and things like that lined up. So we're going to have to, like I said yesterday, contain John Mateer. But yeah, so we're going to see how it goes. I am not nearly as worried as the national media or people that I've heard speaking about this, about Michigan playing well and Bryce Underwood being confused and that type of thing. I think, will he make mistakes? Yes, but I don't think he's going to make your average freshman quarterback mistakes where he's just lost and just throwing picks left and right or incompletions, just chucking the ball just to get rid of it. So I think that, like I said yesterday, our offensive keys are staying ahead of the sticks, establishing the running game, and having the receivers be on point. The receivers have to be ready to go, but I think we'll be all right. I think that today, Bryce Underwood is going to be running the ball more because the read option, run pass option is going to be open, and we didn't put any of that on film last week for Oklahoma to scout him on, which is a good thing because they can tell that he can run because if you go back and watch his high school highlights, but still they haven't seen it in college. So from what they've seen, obviously they're going to have to come up with ideas on how to stop him because we didn't put anything on film of him running. He took a sack before he tried to run and gain any yards last week. He was -5 yards rushing, and I've heard that apparently that's a pretty good thing because that means that he wasn't out here just running and putting things on film for them to scout him on according to his athletic ability. We saw him throw the ball. We saw him command the offense. We saw him get the ball out quickly. 2.2 second window between snap and release. So, he gets the ball out quick and efficiently, and I think that will continue today. Well, it has to continue today because Oklahoma's going to try and pressure him and confuse him and get him all rattled and discombobulated. So I think that Michigan can go in and win. We have to, sustain the line of scrimmage. We're going to have to contain John Mateer. We are going to have to establish the run game. That's going to be key. We're going to need more from Jordan Marshall this game as well because we're going to need that change of pace because Justice Haynes, he's going to be the main running back one, I believe, after last week. After seeing him run, it's looking like it's going to be Justice Haynes. So full confidence in his ability, and also we're going to need Jordan Marshall to be able to get some things going, and I think he will. I don't see Jordan Marshall not being a good running. I mean, he showed it against Alabama. Just one game that's not indicative of how he's going to play throughout the season. Jordan Marshall is going to be a problem. So we, establishing the run game, that type of thing. But, I mean, as far as the atmosphere and crowd noise and things like that, that's one thing that I've heard a lot about is people saying, it's going to be so loud in Norman, Oklahoma, and Bryce Underwood's going to be confused and rattled and everything like that. And even if that is the case, which I mean, obviously he's not going to play perfect, but I don't believe that we're going to have to throw the ball 75, okay, that's a gross exaggeration, 40 times or so to beat them. If we run the ball and establish what we normally want to do, which is running the ball, ground and pound, we won't have to throw the ball. Now, if we get behind If we get behind by a touchdown or two, which I don't think will happen, but if we do, then we're going to have to throw the ball. But again, complete confidence that Bryce Underwood can get it done. It's just a matter of whether or not the receivers can create separation and if they're going to catch it, because that ball is going to be coming quick because he puts it on a rope. The kid can throw. So I think that as far as the crowd noise and that type of thing, that's just something you're going to have to deal with. I mean, I'm sure they've been working on this all week in practice. I mean, obviously you can try as hard as you want. I don't think you can simulate 80,000 people screaming at the top of their lungs for an hour perfectly in practice. But they've probably worked on silent counts. They've worked on, pumping noise in there and just getting them thrown off and getting them ready. Like I said yesterday too, in our Major Keys video, I think that he will have seen some elaborate and unique defensive looks from Wink Martindale in practice as well. There's no way that the vanilla and regular and base defense that they ran last week is what Wink Martindale's been showing him in practice these last few months and things like. There's no way. So he'll be ready. He'll be used to seeing some level of confusion in the defense that's been thrown at him in practice. He's seen an NFL style defense as far as scheme goes and as far as pressure and that type of thing and traps and different things, and so he'll be ready in a sense for some of what Venables will throw at him because he's seen an NFL style defense before, somewhat as far as what Wink Martindale likes to do. Obviously, they don't have the same system, but he's seen complex looks. He hasn't seen just a base defense all practice, all fall camp, all spring ball, so. But, there's going to be challenges, but I don't believe that his challenges are going to be like your average 5-star freshman quarterback. No, it's not just, let's pray he doesn't just chuck it to a defender. Please don't. No, respectfully, that was last year. So, I think the main thing is, how is our defense going to hold up, honestly? Because they have a lot of receivers that are pretty solid, but we need to be able to lock down in coverage. So that's going to be the thing, because Materi's going to throw the ball around. That's just what it's going to be. They're not going to just run. They're not going to just run at us the entire game. If they can establish a run game, which we talked about in the video yesterday, they haven't. But Jaden Ott was out and injured, and I'm assuming he's playing. He's playing today. So that he's the running back transfer from Cal, who was arguably one of the best transfer portal running backs that they could have gotten this cycle, and they got him. So he'll be back and playing. They have 2 linemen coming in that are their starters that didn't play last week, but apparently those guys are freshmen. So I think our defensive line can take advantage of that. But I think Oklahoma's going to just air it out. I think they're going to not even take the chance, and they're just going to try and air it out and get our defensive backs moving a lot. So as far as predictions go, I will give my prediction. Also special teams. I think that our special teams unit, obviously field goals I'm not worried about. Punting, I'm not overly worried about. It's the return game that we need to shore up a little bit. We need catches, and we need, either fair catches or we need to let the ball go, something like that. But, it was just one game. And so, Andrew Marsh had the jitters all game back last week. So I think that he'll be a little bit better prepared now. And we also have other returners that we can use if necessary, because last year Jordan Marshall returned kicks. We have Micah Kaapana, who's ridiculously fast, who we saw last week in that end-around type deal. But we have Micah Kaapana. We have a few other people that could be back there. So, we'll see how that goes. But, Marsh, to be fair, Marsh, when he fumbled, the ball was punched out. It wasn't like he just dropped the ball. He was falling down, and the ball got punched out as he's falling. So, it is what it is there. He didn't just toss the ball out or have bad coverage of the ball. So that's neither here nor there. I think we'll be all right in the return game. So really, this game to me is going to be a low-scoring game. Low-scoring as in mid to low 20s. I think. I don't believe it's going to go beyond that because Michigan doesn't need it to go beyond that, quite frankly. I think that if it comes down to a one score game, a touchdown or a field goal, I like Michigan in a one score game more than I like Oklahoma, I believe. I'd say that if it comes down to where we need a field goal in the last drive, if we get the ball last, I like Zavada. I do love Zavada, guys. He was 7 of 7 on field goals of 50-plus yards last year, and he was absolutely shafted for not being on the list for the Groza Award last year. Absolutely, absolutely terrible. But we have, I'd argue, the best kicker in the country. So, prediction-wise, I will say that Michigan pulls it out 24-21. This game, I've heard, is a coin flip, and even ESPN and the rank, I think I just saw the prediction percentage, and it was something like, it went further into Oklahoma's favor than it was even yesterday. I think it was like 55, 45 or something like that yesterday, but then it dropped more as far as Oklahoma goes. But either way, I'll say 24-21 Michigan. I think we'll get it done. I believe that we can get it done. I think our defense is solid. I think that the offense is going to be able to move the ball. Last year we won games with no passing attack at all. I'd be more worried going into this game if we didn't have the passing game that we do. We have someone who can actually deliver the ball on time and on target, and that is crucial in an away game. And also defense travels. I think our defense will be all right. Last week, we also did a lot of rotating players. We started putting in backups way early in the game, which I don't understand why, but that's neither here nor there. But the starters are going to be out there for most of the game today. That's for sure. There's no experimenting unless we go up by a ton, which would be great, but it's not happening. We're not. I think either way, if we win or lose this game, I believe it's going to be a one-score game. I don't see it being a 2-score, 3-score game either way for Oklahoma or Michigan. So, that's my pregame analysis video, a little bit of my thoughts and prediction for how this game is going to go. I say Michigan 24-21. It won't destroy our season if we lose this game, and it won't mean we're immediately just national championship contenders if we win it. But I think it's definitely a barometer for how the season goes if we walk into Oklahoma and win. If we win though, it'll definitely make this schedule look even better than it already does. So, hey, tell your mom, your cousin, your bro to like, share, and subscribe to the Dave and Blue Show. You guys have a wonderful one. Go Blue. We lit.